Hello, everyone. This is Travis J. Vernon, and welcome to today's podcast. This past week, a YouTuber that I have followed for less than a year, even though he's been doing videos for over 11 years, decided to hang it up, to retire. It was a little bit sad, to be honest, because he was one of the people that I enjoyed watching. I learned quite a bit from his shows, because in the out of doors, you only have so much time that you can experience it. So you have to learn from those that are around you. But once you learn some certain things, you kind of get set in your ways. You know how you like to set up your camp. You know how you like to set up your fires. What stoves you like. What water purification you like. What fishing equipment, hunting equipment, camouflage. All these different things. You get really set in your ways. So if you're not constantly switching it up and hunting and fishing and camping and hiking and spending time outdoors, whether it be bushcrafting or anything else with other people, the only way you can learn is from either watching videos, reading, podcasts. And his was one of those that he opened my eyes to some pretty interesting things. I never even considered making bread on a campout until I watched his shows. And I'm talking about the Outdoor Boys channels. So I know his sons are still going to do some YouTube channels, and his primary focus was Alaska, and he's done over 1,100 videos. But the thing that was the most interesting to me is he stated that he had grown so much in his viewership that it was getting awkward for him to be able to live his life with his wife and kids. That he was constantly asked questions, always people trying to reach out to him. He was noticed when he went just about anywhere. And he really gained notoriety from his channels. So what he's decided to do is focus more on helping people and helping his kids. And I think that's very respectable. I can see how it can get overwhelming. There was a time even on this podcast where I didn't post very much. My life got just so chaotic. It was hard to even set up anything. We were selling my place in Utah. My wife sold her place in Wyoming. We were building a new house in Wyoming. I didn't really have any kind of a den or studio set up where I could do the recordings that I needed to do. And the whole ADHD side of me, out of sight, out of mind, if I'm not walking by a studio every day, I don't think about it. Now, I say studio. I have 2 computer screens and a little bit of recording equipment. I don't have a lot. But when I see it, I think about it. When I have a half-finished painting and I see it, I think, I need to finish that. When I don't see it, it just sits there. But in talking about the Outdoor Boys channel retiring, all those videos they've posted are still going to be up. They're just not going to be posting new content beyond the content that he's finishing up. And in talking to some of my friends, one of them made the comment that they loved watching him because he never sold out. And I started thinking about that. Like, what is it do people think selling out is? Because he made enough money with his YouTube channels that he was able to quit his career as a successful lawyer in the Virginia, D.C. area. He had his own practice. He was making good money, but he was making enough money via advertising that he was able to quit his career. Well, I shouldn't say quit his career, but to start a different career. A career that allowed him to spend a lot more time with his kids and his wife in the out of doors and make amazing memories. People will say things to me on guide trips or if they spend any time with me camping that, you have so much equipment. A lot of my equipment has either been purchased by me through my jobs. There's very little that's been given to me. But I have received a few things from uncles, father, grandparents, friends, where people get something and they just don't like it. And I'll try stuff. With all of my hobbies, I make a lot of stuff. Now, because I'm a retail manager at an outdoor style store, where the primary things we sell are fly fishing, mountain biking, backpacking, and skiing, I have access to discounts just through my job. So I buy things on a deal when I can. I try not to spend full retail if I don't have to. Is that selling out? So I looked at it from that standpoint and thought, what would I consider selling out be? I think if I started making YouTube videos about products and you need to buy this product because of this, and this. If I believe in it, is it selling out? If it's something I use, is that selling out? I found out on Amazon that you can actually become an associate and post links to the products that you're using, especially in the videos that you're using them in. And if people click on the link and go and buy that product, then you get a small commission. Now I'm talking like 2.5% to 4%. So it's not much. And a lot of the stuff that I tried, I shouldn't say tried, I posted a couple of links on items that I used in some of my short videos, more for me just to actually put it out there to see if I would generate any kind of revenue from it, but also to help people be able to get the things I was using without having to send me an email or a message. Because I've done that from people's channels. Now, I'm cynical when it comes to certain things. I think straight away, hey, is this guy promoting this or is this lady promoting this because they're getting paid? Is this a paid promotion? Or are they selling this item because they believe in it, because they use it? One of the videos I just posted, there was a breading container in there. And it was made so you could put your breading materials in there, then throw in your chicken or your fish or whatever it is that you wanted breaded. You shake it, it coats the fish or the chicken or whatever it is, and then you shake it upside down to get it coated, and then you shake it right side up, and the coatings all filter back out, so it makes it easy just to throw them into the fryer. Well, that was one of those things that I use, and I have used for many years because I had a friend in North Dakota that was using them. So we bought one, my wife and I, and we've used it for a number of years. And then I ended up having it in a video, and I thought, I should post a link to that just because if somebody wants to buy that same item, it'll make it easier for them. So is that selling out? It's something I believe in. I haven't received any money from the link. I don't even know if I will receive any money from the link. I don't have a ton of followers. I think the Outdoor Boys increased their viewership by over 12 million subscribers in just the last couple months. So he's retiring on the top of his game, which is actually very commendable. But the more I thought about it, the more I just started to think that I hope people don't think that I'm trying to benefit financially from this as my primary source of income, because I'm not. I've started this channel many years ago. I started my YouTube channel many years ago, and I fronted all the money for all the equipment. I fronted all the money for everything I needed, partially because ADHD, you just dive full in, foot first, off we go. I'm going to do this forever. And I will say 100% that I enjoy telling stories. I enjoy sharing knowledge. I enjoy teaching. And I haven't received a penny to this point. Am I going to walk away from advertising money? Am I going to tell them, no, don't pay me if they want to pay me? No, I'm not going to do that. But I'm also, first and foremost, an educator where I'm going to teach and help people learn the things that they want to learn in the out of doors, and hopefully tell some funny stories along the way. Now, if I have a company call me up and say, hey, we really want you to try our product, I'm more than happy to try their product. Unless it's something that obviously I would never use, because I'm not a gadgety person when it comes to that. I don't have the highest end spotting scopes. I don't have the highest end rifles. I don't have the highest end in a lot of things because I just don't find it necessary in my life. Now, granted, driving to work in a Ferrari is probably more fun than driving to work in a Kia, but they both get you to work. I have some pretty high-end fly fishing stuff, but I spend a lot of time fly fishing on the water. And for me, it's important to have things that I can advance with. Sometimes when you buy real beginner items, you'll outgrow them quickly. And then you have to buy the intermediate or you have to buy the advanced versions. And there's certain things that works for and certain things that it doesn't. In fly casting, if you buy a rod that's a very advanced rod, more often than not, what it does is it accentuates whatever it is you're doing. So if you're doing something wrong, you're going to do it very wrong now. If you're doing something right, you're going to do it very right. If your timing is off with a high-end rod, it's going to be off with a low-end rod. Now, some of the higher-end stuff will help compensate a little bit for errors, but they may also accentuate your errors. So there's that fine line where you have to know what you're getting. So more often than not, when people come into the shop and ask what kind of fly rod should they buy, I have to ask a lot of qualifying questions to see where they are in their fly fishing progress, how they like to cast, what they like to cast, where they like to cast, what kind of fishing do they do, lakes, streams, rivers, out of a boat, out of a float tube, from shore. Are they wade fishermen? There's so many variables. And I think that's where people get frustrated in the world today. There's so many options. My football coach used to call it paralysis by analysis. You would overthink the situation and then fail to act. If you walk into a shoe store and there's 50 shoes that are almost exactly the same, different colors, very small differences, it's overwhelming. How do you know which of those 50 are the right one? Versus if you walk into a store and the clerk there says, these are the 2 trail running shoes I have. This one does this one does this. Which one fits your needs better? You're making a decision between 2 options. So you don't get that paralysis by analysis. Many of the outdoor environments now have so much equipment and so many things that without listening to people you trust, how would you know? So I do my very best to be that person for you. If I haven't used the item, I will tell you I haven't used the item. If I use something and love it, I'm going to tell you that I use it and love it. I don't expect you to buy all the same stuff I have. I don't expect you to like all the same stuff I have. There are some things that I still fish with or hunt with that are nostalgic to me. They have meaning to me. It kind of goes back to the whole taxidermy thing. Some people see taxidermy in a home and are appalled by it. Like, how could you have that dead animal on your wall? And I don't have very much. I have a couple of antelope, a turkey, and a shoulder-mounted elk. That shoulder-mounted elk was my wife's biggest bull. And every time I look at that bull, I remember that story. I remember what happened that day. I remember how hard that pack out was and how elated she was on the great shot she made. So for us, there's a lot of value to that. There's a lot of memories that come from that. But nobody else is going to feel the same. I've been thinking a lot lately about some of the horns and different things that I have laying around the house. I have a bunch of shed antlers. I have wall mounts of turkeys. And I talk about like the turkey fan and the beard and the spurs from the turkeys that I've hunted. What's going to happen to that stuff when I die? Who's going to want that? Nobody. Maybe a fly tire, cut the turkey feathers off. I mean, do I really need those sorts of things? I don't know. So that is just one of those things that I think about. I have a fair amount of stuff, though. I probably need to start paring that down. Get rid of it. A good fly fishing buddy of mine is moving across the country, and he's decided to pare down his stuff. I teach a youth group through my church, and we donated a ton of stuff to those kids. Some of them have things, some of them don't. But I think it's important for the youth to have equipment that they can use. Is it the best equipment? Maybe not. But it might be the best equipment that they'll use until they can buy their own. So I won't mention actual companies, but being a fishing guide, hunting guide, I do get discounts from certain companies. And they range from 20 to 40% in most cases. And I can't talk about the companies because that's part of the contractual agreements with them, that they offer the discount so that you don't talk about it. But it's pretty well known in the world that if you work for an outfitter of any kind, that there's going to be companies that offer you discounted products because they want you to use their products. They do. There have been some times that I've purchased products from one of those companies, used them for a short time, and did not like them. Now, on a personal basis, if somebody asks me, I'll tell them what I think. I don't use my platforms to discredit companies or products unless it's been a real bad situation for me. And even then, I don't even really leave bad reviews. I just tell people what I think. So if you ever have any questions about any of my gear, please reach out. I will be 100% honest with you about them. I'll tell you what I use. I'll tell you what I don't. I'll tell you why I like it or why I don't. Pros and cons. There's benefits to so many things. And I don't want people to go through the same paralysis by analysis or make the bad buying decisions that I've made. But there's going to be times that something that works for me isn't going to work for you. The way I fish is different than you. The way I hunt is probably different than you. So we maybe will need different things, and there's a learning curve to that, which is difficult for people when they only get 2 or 3 weeks a year to do the things that I do for 5 months. So I will never sell you something that I don't believe in. Whether I'm in the retail store or you're asking me questions in the mountain, I'm not going to promote something I don't personally use and believe in. I just can't sell out that way. It's not the way that I was brought up, and it's not how I do business. So feel free to reach out to me anytime. And if you want to sponsor the show, I'm not going to say no. But at the same time, if I don't like your product, I probably won't take your money because I just don't believe in it. But if I already use your product and I like them, sure. I just can't build my platforms around that. I think I'll just stick to doing what I'm doing. Tell my stories, share the things I use, and if people want to buy them, great. I just hope I'm helping people. So get out there and live your stories.